Jerome Henry, Jerry Brudos was an American serial killer and necrophiliac. Early life. Brudos was born in Webster, South Dakota, and was the younger of two sons. His mother had wanted a girl and was very displeased that she had another son instead. She would also constantly belittle him and treated him with disdain, as well as abuse him. As a child, Brudos and his family would move into different homes in the Pacific Northwest, before settling in Salem, Oregon. At age 17, he abducted and beat a young woman, threatening to stab her if she did not follow his sexual demands. Shortly after being arrested, he was taken to a psychiatric ward of Oregon State Hospital for 9 months. There it was found his sexual fantasies revolved around his hatred and revenge against his mother, and women in general. He also underwent a psychiatric evaluation, and was diagnosed with schizophrenia. Despite being institutionalized, he still graduated from high school with his class in 1957. Shortly after graduation, Brudos became an electronics technician. In 1961, he married a 17-year-old girl, with whom he would father 2 children, and settled in a Salem, Oregon suburb. He asked his new bride to do housework naked except for a pair of high heels while he took pictures. It was at about this time, however, that he began complaining of migraine headaches and blackouts, relieving his symptoms with night prowling raids to steal shoes and lace undergarments. He kept the shoes, underwear, and, for a time, the bodies of his victims in a garage that he would not allow his wife to enter without first announcing her arrival on an intercom that Brudos had set up. Crimes. Between 1968 and 1969, Brudos bludgeoned and strangled 4 young women. The only initial evidence were witness sightings of a large man dressed in women's clothing in the garage of his Salem, Oregon home. Brudos kept trophies from his victims, expressly 2 pairs of amputated breasts that were used as paperweights and the left foot of a 19-year-old woman named Linda Slauson, his first murder victim, which he used to model the shoes he collected. After committing her murder, he would dress up in high heels and masturbate. Police investigation and interviews of local university students led them to Brudos, who described the murders in detail. He had confessed to murdering Linda Slauson, Jan Whitney, Karen Sprinker and Linda Sally, and was sentenced to life in prison. While incarcerated, Brudos had piles of women's shoe catalogs in his cell. He wrote to major companies asking for them, and claimed they were his substitute for pornography. He lodged countless appeals, including one in which he alleged that a photograph taken of him with one of his victims' corpses cannot prove his guilt, because it is not the body of a person he was convicted of killing. Brudos died in prison on March 28, 2006 from liver cancer. At the time of his death, Brudos was the longest incarcerated inmate in the Oregon Department of Corrections, a total of 37 years, from 1969 to 2006. Popular culture. American thrash, death metal, grindcore band Macabre recorded a song about Brudos from their murder metal album, called Fatal Foot Fetish.